Welcome back. We just watched episode 19 of Gotham Beasts of Prey. So what did we learn? Well, Bruce Wayne, billionaire, future crime fighter, not the best sandwich maker. Bread's too thick, Bruce. It's too thick. Jim didn't say anything. He was just being nice. What else? Oh, you want to make Leslie Lee Tompkins hot? I have one word for you. Homicide. You had me at homicide. And the ogre, the evil genius that he may be, he still uses the worst and cheesiest breakup line in history. It's not you. It's me. Well, it's us. We're the Gotham After Show. Come on back. Welcome to the Gotham After Show. The show is the films about 24 hours after Gotham on Fox airs to give you time to get in on the discussion. I am Chad Perkins. Welcome back, and welcome back to the couch of only 3 more episodes left after this.
All right.
From the Star Wars TCG podcast and video cast, he is Master Koo on Twitter. He is Cory Cooley.
I do.
And that's it.
That's it. I am in the front seat here.
How about
Feels
that?
good. Feels good.
Yeah, you like it?
Missed my counterpart, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's you think being off for 6 weeks.
Yeah, you know. You think you'd have enough
But
time, but he just the
timing-
episode blew him away so much
So
that he
much.
is no longer even.
He is so
he's
distraught.
he disintegrated.
That Fish got shot.
Yeah.
He had to lay
I don't
down
think
for a
Dave
while.
probably wasn't. He probably was pretty jazzed about it, to be honest with you. We all know
Who's to
Dave's.
say?
We all know Dave's.
We know where he stands.
Where he stands on that. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but Birds of Prey is not the name of the episode.
But it sounds
It's actually
like
Beasts
it.
of Prey.
Beasts of Prey.
How about that?
Pretty
So first
neat.
impressions.
First impressions, there were, when I hear that, I want to think finger dropping in a bucket. That was pretty neat. I mean, I just think of that you know what I mean? Just that sound, that really stood out to me.
The visuals, sure.
The visual.
Yeah.
It gets that grimy. There's been a few episodes, a handful, where it's been real grimy, real edgy, and that was pretty good. But other than that, good episode back. Nothing really. Just a classic Gotham episode. Nothing really too I don't know, revealing, I would say.
Right.
I
Yeah. I guess it didn't.
feels like it should have been right after the last. It doesn't feel like.
Yeah.
'Cause you think like after a break, you'd have an episode that's just like, he puts on a toy cow. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what the heck is going on in this show?
Right.
But it was solid.
Yeah,
solid Gotham episode.
I would
Nothing
agree with you
really-
there. I feel like this really felt like, since there's only 4 episodes left, the first of a big build up to the race to the finish line.
Yeah.
This felt like a lot of setup.
Mm-hmm.
The ogre was introduced in this one, and Fish is flying away on a helicopter. She's shot.
Yeah.
Penguin says he's going to murder Maroni in that place.
That is true.
So we
I
did,
forgot about
actually,
that
when we
there.
talk about it, we did get a lot of stuff that happened, but it's
Yeah.
all like, on the next very special episode of Gotham. You know,
Right.
it's like,
nothing happened. Nothing's really. It's setting up.
it's
It's kind of like
it's
the
like, but
Captain
look
America.
what's coming!
If I could go, don't crucify. But like Captain, you had to have Captain America. The first movie, I thought it was terrible, but I didn't like the first one. Second one, awesome. But you had to have that one to set him up. It just seems kind of one of those things where, okay, we have to have this one because the previews that the promos they were showing was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Edward Nygma had a knife in his hand.
that he was laughing hysterically.
It looked like he stabbed somebody.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay, that's later on. But anyways,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
more, I mean, just now, the more that we talk about it, and also bring up that Jim Gordon basically just flat out threatens Commissioner
how many times
Loeb.
did that happen?
Well, no, but this was like,
This was different.
yeah, he was
Just
like,
like-
you're done.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
You're done.
Jim, before,
You're a loose cannon,
the first-
Loeb.
The first time you took on Loeb was crazy, but now
This is suicide.
This is suicide.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe the next one will be suicide.
Right.
But no. But yeah, I feel like I think I don't like the main thing about it is I don't like the break was I don't know why they did that. I mean,
It was awfully long.
It was awfully long, and because in my head I'm thinking, I swear I've seen him do the same thing with Loeb before, but I can't place on when and what episode, but I guess this is different. I guess he was gritting his teeth and talking a little further at the side of his mouth on this one, and he seemed more legit on wanting to take, because he has the means. I don't know why Loeb did that. I mean, Loeb knows he has the means to take him down.
Poking the bear.
Yeah, he's
poking the bear.
He asked for it.
I guess he thought it would come to pass and he would get killed for investigating.
That's true.
He didn't think that he would wise up. And
yeah, but it's Gordon.
Yeah, I know, it's Gordon.
It's
He's
Gordon.
underestimating.
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
I know. Oh yeah. By the way, it's been a long week already, and so we're having a little
booze drink.
little libation.
Tasty. Very, very tasty.
Yes. Yes. So I guess overall.
So in talking about it,
yeah.
yes, there was a lot of setup, and pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, really excited for. It's weird, but I'm kind of excited for that 4th episode. But it's kind of a bittersweet thing.
Right.
Should be crazy.
Talking about the long break, since you've already brought up a Marvel property, I guess we won't shy away from bringing up a second one. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did this really long break, but they had the Agent Carter little mini series to fill in that gap. There was nothing. Well, I mean, besides the other DC shows that are on the Flash and Arrow.
Yeah, because those
are awesome. We had those to enjoy, but probably a little bit too long of a break. But what's great is, as we saw in the Twitterverse, people are very excited for it to come back.
Yeah,
wanting it. So let's just kind of take it from when the episode starts. We have Fish breaking out very calmly, obviously to test the response time of the guards to see what all is going on there. Now, when
they shot her,
right?
I think that's through a fish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's very true to test the and that's what immediately after she didn't make any type of run. So I'm testing the waters.
So when she walks towards the helicopter though, the first time, did you think she obviously knows how to fly? I mean, there was this supposed misdirection there in the end.
When I first saw it, I thought, okay, because you saw the copter, then she saw the boat, and I thought, okay, well, the obvious choice is the copter, so I figured she was end up going to take the boat, but yes, that was not, I figured there was some deception she was going for, but
yeah, when she first started heading towards the helicopter, I was thinking, do you think they just leave the keys in there? I mean, I was kind of thinking she might have been trying, but I was like, well, she's doing the Pepe Le Pew, they're running away and he's just walking or hopping.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, obviously she's not trying anything.
Yes.
Just yet.
That guy had just the most interesting voice, though. You remember how? It was just, like he was either dubbed over or I don't know.
Well, that's why he got the part.
Pretty much, yeah.
That voice.
His voice was.
We don't care what the actor looks like, but we just want him to have this voice.
That voice right there.
He sounds like he's in a voiceover booth.
Good voice. Exactly. How Michael Caine gets all his parts.
Exactly.
Can't do it yet.
Nope. We should, though, since it's just the two of us. We should do the entire episode like that.
Can we just let's just do the entire rest of the episode. Dave's not here to stop us.
Right. There's nothing to hold us back now.
We can do whatever we want to do. This is our show now. Yeah. Awesome. Interesting. Very interesting.
Gotham After Show is taken over by Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
We
found you. I saw Interstellar. For the first time like a week ago, and started laughing because it was a different Michael Caine voice. If you guys have seen it, when he's dying,
spoiler.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, if you've seen it, but spoiler. It's not that big a deal, really. What he says it was an extra stressed Michael Caine voice. He's just, he barely was like, I don't want to say it. I'll make something up. I'll say off age and go, yeah. So it was even more stretched out, even more Michael Caine.
He was drifting away.
He was very old at the time.
There is another Skywalker.
yeah, pretty much. And then it just.
I'm sorry, Yoda. What?
Yeah.
You drifted off there. I don't think half the audience really knew what you were saying. I have to subtitle that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We go,
we're getting way out. This is what happens. What is it? We get way off
There's
topic.
no one to rein us in. There's no one to rein us in.
Talking about Stellar. We're talking about Return of the Jedi.
I almost made a Family Guy quote too, so we probably should move it on.
Well, bro, let's move on. So, Jim goes over to Bruce's house. Bruce makes him lunch.
A Sammy.
Yeah, makes him a Sammy. Bread. From the looks of Bruce to Jim and so forth, and I know he's kind of trying to change the subject about I sliced this bread too thick, didn't I, and all this. But
yes,
it really seemed like he was also trying to impress Jim. You know, besides Alfred, I think Jim is like this other father figure to him, and he's really he's trying to be his equal. He's like, hey, we're hanging out, we're having lunch together.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the case. You know,
I can see that.
things like that.
He's a little too big for his britches.
Definitely.
For right now, but that's good. I mean, I definitely I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I felt like he was, because, you know, Bruce had that, and that's what I love about David is that he's just, if not, I think he's like one of the best actors on the show, if not the best actor, right? I mean, period.
Wow.
I mean, he's a kid. I think he just does, I mean, besides the fact that he's playing this, and from his interviews and stuff, it seems like he understands what he is playing, like especially to super fans like me of Batman. He's understanding where the character is going. So whereas most people are like, okay, where did this character come from? Where did this character come from? But it's the opposite. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And I guess there was this, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but there was an interview where he was pulling from a lot from Nolan's Nolan-esque stuff, which is really cool. I think, and you could, I don't know, I think at some points you can see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, speaking of his character development, I think he had a huge moment there with Catwoman, with Selena, there with Reggie.
That was
at the
my
window.
favorite scene of the whole episode. I mean, he was really struggling. Like, he's like, I want to do this. Like, because that inner, you know, I mean, if Batman didn't have the self-control he did, he would be unstoppable. I mean, he had that. I could just see he wanted to do it, and of course, Selena being Selena. But then what really, at first, it kind of, I don't know. Like, at first I was disappointed because I was like, I figured he would stop her, but it's one of those times when, you know, Batman, because there's been several times when Batman's witnessed someone doing something like that, you know what I mean? But in all the mediums, like, for example, Dark Knight Rises, Selena came in and blew Bane away.
Right.
I mean, it's not like he was going to go, I'm taking you into the cops now. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, he's a bad guy. Someone else killed him. I didn't kill him. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's kind of like I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Exactly.
Batman Begins.
Exactly. So after a while thinking about it, I didn't mind as much because I was like, it was cool. It was cool.
Plus he's young and he's learning.
Exactly.
You know, he's
very much so.
He's got an adolescent frame of mind to deal with such complex
craziness.
Emotions. You stabbed my butler. You stabbed my father figure.
Stabbed my friend.
Yeah, you stabbed my friend. So,
but we're getting into some interesting stuff, and you know, this is one of the reasons why Dave is good to have here. But you may or may not know this, but Mathis. It sounds familiar, but when I heard it, for some reason, I don't know. I'm getting very, very Cory vibes. I don't know. Maybe I'm off or whatever. But I'll have to check here here in a little bit on where Mathis, because he mentioned Mathis, right?
Yeah, we should call up Russell Berger.
Yes, we should. We should have a phone a friend line where we can have him call it. He is
very much wants to see the Court of Owls.
He does as well, yes.
On there, so that's interesting.
Yes.
We'll wait for him to respond on Twitter, and then we'll comment next week about that.
Very good.
Why didn't you say?
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't want.
My brother does the same thing. He'll text me and go, "Oh, you guys, you should have done more research."
Get your own show.
Yeah.
Sorry, that
was very explosive.
Whew.
I liked it a lot. Anyway,
what did you think Selena's motives were, though, for the push? Do you think, because it obviously could be, I'm going to tell on you, going to get her in trouble, or it's my friend Bruce, who I now care about, is hurting. He wanted to push you. I'm going to take care of it for him. I'm going to take the, the moral fall.
Mm-hmm. I think you could see it in her face pretty well. She looked at him, looked back at Bruce, could see he's struggling, looked back at him, and just kind of stepped in as Bruce's.
She picked up the Emperor and threw him through the shaft.
No.
No.
But I think you could tell she was seeing his struggle, and was like, matter of fact, because it was. Speaking of that scene, it's just that was. When I said that was my favorite scene, I meant that entire bit was probably one of my favorite things, because you had Selena over there with whatever that was, drugs, I guess it was, and
his
hanging
medicine.
Medicine, hanging it over the edge, and you had Bruce going, "Who sent you? Who sent you?
Swear to me!"
Yeah, man, I thought that was really cool to see him say that line.
Low voice.
Yeah. Like little kid. But it was really cool. It was really cool to see him do that. And I figured, because usually that's what Batman does. Batman will say, I'll break your arm if you don't tell me, and then break your arm because you're a criminal, whatever, you deserve it. So the fact that she dropped it was really cool. I figured that would have happened earlier, but she dropped it. But then her face when she did, just was like, she doesn't matter, like, whatever. I figured he would go a little bit more crazy, but I think he just kind of like, look, these are kids. I guess he realized it was on the ledge. So, but yeah, the whole struggle, and she just saw it and pushed him. Thought it was pretty. I was really surprised not to see a resolution from that. Like, it ended, and I was just like, wow, okay. So next episode we have to see how he's dealing with this.
Right, and do you think it's going to change Selena? Because I'm thinking this is obviously her first kill, I would say.
Maybe. I mean, she's, well, depending on if the guy whose eyeballs she ripped out the first episode
that is true.
lived. But, so she's definitely violent.
Good point.
She's definitely violent. I don't think she's going to be as, if she is, I don't think she'll show it as much. I think Bruce is going to be shaken, and I think he's going to kind of be a little off-put by her, maybe.
Now, was this Bruce making Catwoman? He's the one who caused her first kill.
Ooh.
She was never the same after. She turns more to a life of crime.
What's the saying?
She scratches out more eyes.
Yeah, very true. Him kind of pushing her
slippery slope.
Because if that's the truth, then that makes sense, and that would actually make me very happy, because the whole thing is the fact Batman is around.
Is why there's super.
Why there's all these people are around. So he basically creates. I mean, he's his own worst enemy in a sense, because he creates all these theatrical guys, all these theatrical villains. But yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Maybe one long, because you have these real. I mean, it's all about kind of origins, I guess, is what it is. But but you have like someone like Scarecrow, which is the head as origin in like 2 episodes, basically. The kid did. Yeah, it very well could be. That'd be interesting to see, because there were previews of them like kind of dressed up. I think at some kind of ball or something.
Right. Yeah.
So that's gonna be kind of neat if they like slot dance. It's like
it's like
mistletoe.
Selena.
Yeah. Yeah. Batten down the hatches.
Yeah.
No, when she goes, a mistletoe. What's from the first one? He goes, a mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it, and he goes, be even deadlier if you mean it. That would be huge. That'd be huge if they said that. They won't, though. They won't say it. No, they won't.
Too
awkward.
Speaking of villains, the ogre.
Ah, yeah.
Or the
Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek and his sidekick Donkey.
What if it was Mike Myers?
A little too on the nose.
Yeah, that would be
there.
That would be ridiculous.
His name, the actor's name is Milo.
Milo.
I think it's a in there.
It's a very Gamagalaga. Yeah. Look, I'm not one with names,
right?
As you guys can tell, but what is he in?
The guy from
Heroes. Heroes, yeah, the guy from Heroes. Awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Just really great.
Very good.
Super just you can tell he's just evil. I mean, he's super suave and just dashing, dapper, evil. And it's cool. It's really neat. He's, I mentioned because he's one of the best. I mentioned about David being one of the best. I think this guy's one episode was like some of the best acting in this whole entire freaking show so far. I mean, if you just sat and watched him, he just, even in that subtle look of when he was, which may or may not be a segue into later on, that subtle look of when the woman came in and he's closing that big wooden door and he's looking into that room, that subtle look, you saw something a little different in him. But he always had this feeling of, I know something you don't, the entire time. It was really cool. I like that. I like that suspense.
Now, what can you tell us about this character from the comics?
From what I could find, I mean, because when I heard it, I was like, that sounds really familiar. And I don't know if it's the same one, but before I get into what I found, it popped an image into my head of, I think it was, I don't know if it was year one or not, but it was definitely from a cartoon. I think it was the cartoon that came out before Dark Knight. Like that, where those kids are telling the stories and stuff. Mm-hmm. I can't remember if it was that or not, but it was about this guy who, I don't know if he was the ogre or not, but he took like girls and stuff, and his base camp was like in some kind of basement. I think it was in Arkham's basement or something like that. I don't know if you remember if that rang a bell or not. So that's what made me kind of want to look.
Yeah.
And when I looked him up, it actually said this guy's a loose adaptation of the ogre. Basically, it was this guy who was tested with his brother, the ape. So it's like the ogre and the ape. I think it was like Batman 535 is what I found. But then I've actually come across some of these comics. His big role was in Batman Confidential, is what I could see, is what I could find, is when he came up. But one's a kind of a classic Gotham-esque villain. Nothing too big, perfect for this show. I don't even think I don't even know. He doesn't even share the same name as he did in the comics. But yeah, perfect. Just like the Electrocutioner and all that stuff. I think it's a perfect villain to kind of draw it from the shadows and bring to Gotham. Perfect.
So we got a little bit of Penguin in this one, not a whole lot, but it's good to.
A good Penguin.
Good Penguin.
Very good Penguin.
Good to see him back.
Mm-hmm.
We almost had a Bruce and Penguin meeting.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He walked behind him.
He
and
did.
Then,
I sensed something I haven't sensed since. Yeah. It's like
we keep bringing up Star Wars.
we do. What can I do? What can I say?
I think I passed someone who's going to be my arch nemesis in the future. Nah.
That's what he does. Instead of this, Penguin does this. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's an old thing.
Then he gets out some chalk. And he's like,
Exactly.
Yeah. But so he's planning on killing Don Maroney.
Perfect.
In a place that's. I mean, I would just
that
have to
woman
imagine.
looked like Don Maroney almost. You know what I mean? Like she kind of looked a little like his mother. Yeah, it did. It really did.
Well,
that would be interesting if it's his mother's place where he kind of came up. Well, I don't know. I figured that would have brought it up in this episode if that was the case.
Yeah, I think she would have gone to him about her daughter's jerk boyfriend.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, Don Maroney's her son. So probably not that, but it's a place that he has been to before because of the picture on the wall, and I think it holds some significance because Penguin wouldn't just pick a random place to end up killing him. Mm-hmm. Obviously, to be killed in this place is going to be hurtful to him in some way.
I think his henchman just needs to stop asking so many dang questions.
Yeah.
And just lay back and be a henchman.
Which way do we go? Which way do we go?
Which way? Yeah, exactly. Shut up and let me do my thing. You oaf. Yeah, pretty much.
Why this place, boss?
Well, what do you feel? What are you talking? What's going on? What's in your pockets?
You want I should rough her up?
What's in my pockets?
Yeah.
What's in your pockets?
Yeah, not quite the same as Gilzine. I think he's. What has happened to Gilzine? We were missing him in this episode.
Yeah, we have. I guess he's just back at the. I almost said Iceberg Lounge, but that's not what it is.
At Oswald's.
Oswald's.
I almost said like the Umbrella Club.
The Umbrella Club.
No, that's not right.
Back at Oswald's, I guess, running the place for a while, but he's in the previews.
You're right.
Yeah.
He
Interesting
is.
little
he is.
scene there.
Yeah. And you were saying earlier you thought the scene with the guitar player losing his finger was.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was.
I'm glad they showed just the right amount of stuff, I think, in that scene. You know, they didn't drag that on. The only thing is, you know, and I was thinking this earlier, because, you know, Penguin has this kind of, like, he does this, like, little, you know, it does this little thing, and it's cool, but I want to see, like, because there are times when he brings out this certain demeanor that I really like, where he's, because that's almost like his little act.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he'd have done that kind of more on this scene, because he still had this, like, lose them, you know. It was cool, but I wish he had, I wish either he did it, or, like, there was some other kind of demeanor that he changed to it, but that's just me being, you know, trying to find ways. But it was cool. I thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was great they didn't actually show it and the finger hit the bucket. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it worked. She came back.
That's right.
She
Just to get
did.
smacked up.
So
Well, you know what time it is?
What's that?
It's time to play everyone's favorite game.
Oh.
Caption this.
My gosh.
This will only be two, so get out your mobile device. So we're going to caption this. Let's go ahead and put it up on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, so what are we doing? Both of them, or?
Which one you want to do?
Because I mean, I don't know. They're kind of lame, both of them. But I like the one where he's like looking into the room, but his face is just like, if I could just try to, I don't know if you could like put his face next to mine somehow but it's like, is that it? Look, that's exactly it. I don't know if you could do it. Anyways, I thought it was hilarious. But anyways, what came to mind is a Super Troopers quote where he's like, "It smells like sex in here." That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's good.
It's weird. I don't know.
That's
It's super freaking weird.
No. Well, since you do that one, I'll do the same one.
Okay.
And so the girl kind of peeks around and she's like, well, "What are you keeping there?" And he says, "Have you seen that 50 Shades of Grey movie yet?"
You have to do his face. The face. If you could, I swear to God, it looks just. If you do that face, if you could just, I wish we could just put the face up next to us when we try to do it. Anyways, I have to show you my background though, real quick.
Oh, nice.
For the show.
It went away.
Oh, and it's gone.
And it's cat.
And it's back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Nice.
Anyways,
Nice.
hilarious. Oh, I can't wait to see everybody else's, because mine was, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Like if we done the other one, it kind of would have been a long thing because it just seems like this would be a very uncomfortable lunch.
Yes.
And just be like, so you enjoying your sandwich? Yeah, it's real good. Thanks. So you want to do something after this? What? No, I'm working. Yeah, no, me either.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's a joke.
Nothing. I love you.
Well,
What?
it's like a bread's a little thick.
Nothing,
What?
Dad. I mean,
No,
Jim.
nothing. So I knew the bread was thick. But like, if you look at Jim. Jim isn't even. Both of the pieces are at the bottom, and his lettuce and tomato is still at the top.
Yeah.
He's holding it like that. Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's like really, Bruce with BLT. You didn't have any real meat besides bacon.
I mean, it's
Come on.
It's like there, but he does. Gordon doesn't even freaking do that.
It's like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
I bet he didn't even eat it. I bet
Kid.
he's like, I'm gonna go.
This bread's too thick.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna go.
what's that?
Why are you leaving?
Oh no, they need me at the station. I gotta.
He's like,
Yeah.
gotta
Oh,
go.
Another butler's
Somewhere.
been stabbed. I gotta.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
And the SNL skit with the worst extras. I think it was Chris Kattan. Like, he's just like, like clearly not even talking on the phone. Oh my God. All right. Anyways, guys. Supercharged first episode.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah. Anywho, so how do you feel about Dr. Dullmacher as a villain? Because as far as villains go, even though he hasn't had any run-ins with Gordon or anyone else, he lasted the longest.
Wow. I guess he's been one of the longest outstanding kind of bad guys. It's very true. Like,
We-
I guess villains of Batman, I guess you should say, not necessarily bad guys.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, what do you think of his evil?
I like it. It's I want to say it's I don't want to say it's very subtle, but it's very direct. Like he's like, I'm going to shoot you in the stomach, and it's not like I'm going to do, it's he's very this is what I'm going to do. And very evil. Obviously I don't think we've seen the last of him, but I don't know. He's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought when he was, he had his little blackjack flip out thing or whatever, and he was going to beat Fish.
Yeah.
And then the door opens and all the prisoners beat him. I was thinking, well, he's dead. That villain didn't last very long.
Right, but no,
they leave him, so obviously he'll be back for more.
I thought it'd been cooler if he would and like beat them all up and chase Fish
yeah,
down.
all of a sudden he's just like.
Well, I mean, because it was, I liked the fact that Fish kept getting, because you were sitting there going, she's doing that, no one's watching her, and like she's gonna keep doing this. Like I loved, because he kept like, you're lying to me, and then she did that, which was a good job.
It was smart. It was
very
quick.
smart, but and it was cool that he stepped out. I was hoping he kind of stopped her, to be honest with you, because we had been talking about how, like, why don't they just kill her? Why is she still alive? That's basically the question we were asking. But he threatened her. Her plan worked. I don't know. I guess she gave them the key before, and that's how then they unlocked it.
Yeah.
And
Well, she probably didn't lock it back.
very true. Very true. So, yeah, I thought it was well crafted. Well, it didn't leave me going, okay, like it was well put together.
Mm-hmm.
Good escape.
Yeah. Good escape.
Except for the
Getting
The
shot.
shot.
part. Yeah.
But-
Now, what do you think about that? What do you think is coming? Does this spell the end of Fish?
depends on how far they are away from Gotham.
All right.
I don't know how far they are away. If she can make it there or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she makes it there and it lives. Excuse me, maybe she doesn't. But I heard she's not coming back for a second season, so maybe it is. I don't know. I figure there's gonna be she's gonna have a Samuel L. Jackson-esque like death, like in Star Wars. Like he's like, look, if you're gonna kill me off, I'm gonna go out in a blazing glory, which was electrocuted, thrown out a window,
Yeah.
and screaming all the way down. So I think that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna go screaming all the way down.
Well, I don't think she's going to die in the helicopter. I don't think she's
Right,
going to die
exactly.
in the shot.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think
something
it's
very. She's gonna get force lightning and thrown out a
Force
window.
lightning.
Yeah, more Star Wars.
Just to keep the Star Wars thread in this episode going.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. Well, what do you think about... I mean, Jim's saying that he's coming after Commissioner Loeb.
Yes.
I mean, how do you think... What do you think he has planned? He said, you're done. You're done.
He's gonna find evidence to convict him of his crimes.
But in a crooked city, how can you do that? Especially when he has dirt on...
You got to go above. I mean, you can't go above him because that's like the mayor, basically.
Well, the mayor's crooked.
Mayor's crooked. Who's gonna? He's got to find a judge. What judge? I mean, there's a DA that knows that but he'll only do it as long as no one yells at him, because
Right.
He still knows how Gotham works.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to find more people to be behind him, because who's going to put him? No one's going to. There's always going to be someone that was a suicide. Because Flask is still out there.
Right.
So there's always going to be someone above him. There's always a bigger fish.
I think, unfortunately, Leslie Tompkins is going to end up getting it somehow because of this.
What?
Because he said
You
he's...
mean like getting it, or like
No,
what do you
getting it?
What do you
No.
plan with?
No, she's going to
That's horrible.
Get it.
She's because I figured, because in the previews again, there's Barbara with Mila, whatever is the ogre.
The ogre.
So
I think
he's
he's going to find his perfect woman in Barbara. She's going to be like, oh, you got all this room full of stuff? Cool. That turns me on.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
maybe. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Or him having her hostage and knowing she's missing will rekindle his love for Barbara and.
Well, you figure they
dog.
got to bring it back around somehow because if you stick to the comics, which they generally have, they get married.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Have two
Lee
beautiful
Tompkins
children.
is clearly the better choice.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I think she's gonna die. He's gonna save her
Mm-hmm.
and be consoled by her, and then it'll just start back up again. That's what
Maybe. Very,
That's
very.
my prediction on it. You heard it here first. Gotham After Show.
Put money in it.
Yeah. So we are definitely looking forward to the next episode next Monday.
Yeah.
No more breaks. We got 3 more, and we will be back here
Mm-hmm.
next time.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that 4th episode's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Sadly, I guess I should say. But yeah, very excited. Very excited for the next episode.
Well, I think we did okay, just the 2 of us.
Yeah, maybe. I think so,
Maybe.
depending on how.
Little
whatever.
shorter episode, but that's okay. Like to thank Cory Cooley. He is at CoolMasterCoo
My
on
pleasure.
Twitter. You can follow him. You can follow me at ChadPerkins21. You can follow the show at Gotham After Show. You can subscribe to the network. It's youtube.com/21network for this show and all other shows there about it involving
On your
myself,
computer.
Cory, Dave, Russell, everyone who is out there. So do that. And until next time, I got to even remember what my sign-off is. I remember now. Until next time, everybody out there, you stay frosty.